It just started raining right when I hit record. What a perfect time for a day in with a warm blanket and a nice cup of coffee and your favorite book. There are so many books out in the world, almost too many. It can be quite overwhelming when you walk into a bookstore and you ask yourself, where am I going to find the time to read all these books? And that's kind of what I want to talk about. Just kind of go over some little tips and tweaks that we can all use in our daily lives to make more time for reading. And I know we all have our own different lifestyles and different jobs and different hobbies, and some of us have more hobbies than others, and some people's jobs dictate the way they live and how they manage their time. You know, I get it. If you had a 12, 15-hour day, I don't think you want to come home and read a book if you have that kind of energy. I've always been a routine kind of guy. I wake up at a specific time. I delay my coffee intake an hour or 2 hours. I have my breakfast at a certain time. I do my workout at a certain time. And depending on your lifestyle and your daily routine, how you go about your day, really you just need to set aside some time for reading. Whether that's in the morning with your breakfast and your cup of coffee, or on your lunch break, or a little bit before bedtime. And when you set that time aside for reading and you go about your day and your week, each day you're going to be excited and looking forward to that little window of time, that little activity of reading. For example, my sister, she likes to read before bed, and she goes about her day, and throughout her day she's like, man, I can't wait for bed because I get to read my book. It's exciting. It's something to look forward to. And when you've carved out that time for reading, limit distractions. Put your phone away, turn your TV off, put your phone in a drawer or on the other side of the room, silence it, turn it off, because then that time with you and your book is going to be very intentional. You'll develop a healthy habit for reading. You'll be able to sit in silence and really focus on the book that's in your hand. And it'll build discipline in your life. And that may trickle down into other aspects of your life and your routine. For the past few years, I've been putting my phone on the other side of the room. Or when I'm at a friend's house, I'll just leave it in my car, because I really want to be intentional with my time and with the people I spend my time with. And when I read a book, I want to be reading with purpose and not get distracted with social media or, a text message. Man, it's really coming down. Listening to the rain just dance across the window is so relaxing. Man, I'm excited to snuggle under a blanket and read a book today. Read in short bursts. 15 to 20 minute bursts. That's it. Little baby steps. If you're new to reading, I don't think you're going to be able to sit down for an hour to 2 hours and focus on a book. That's going to seem daunting. So if you step back and do little baby bites of food instead of the whole steak, and I think reading will be a more realistic habit and enjoyable hobby for you when you read in short bursts. Let's say you've never worked out in your life. You've never lifted a weight, and you go to the gym and you're like, okay, I'm going to lift 300 pounds. You're going to injure yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. You may hurt someone else next to you. Start out with baby weights and work up. And the more you do that, the stronger you get and the more you can lift. Granted, I don't think it's healthy to lift that heavy, because that puts a lot of strain on your heart. And, me having a pacemaker and all, I like to just stick with 50-pound weights, maybe 60 pounds. Anyways, the point is, set realistic goals for yourself in regards to time. And short little bursts are going to be beneficial. And when you're at work or you're on your lunch break, you'll be like, hey, I got 15, 20 minutes. I can read right now. Or I'm not really tired right now. I think I'll read for 15, 20 minutes and then boom, you're asleep. I hope I still have your attention. This is going to be the most important tip of all. Period. Always bring your book wherever you go. Always have a book on you, no matter what. I don't care where you are, where you're driving, where you're flying, where you're running. Always have it on you. Because there will be a time where you're sitting in the doctor's office or getting your oil changed, or heck, you may be in a super long line at a grocery store and you got that book on you. Boom, I can read for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If I had a dime for every time I left my book at home and I was getting my oil changed, or I was, at a doctor's office and I was in the waiting room for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours pass by, I'm like, I could have been reading my book right now. It's a sad feeling. It's a missed opportunity. So that is kind of my most important tip to you. Always bring your book with you wherever you are, because there is always time to read in the day, wherever you may be. I've gotten comments on my past videos asking, how do I make time for reading? Or how do you navigate all your hobbies and still have time for reading? I play Magic the Gathering. I play video games. There are certain movies and TV shows I like to watch. I like to work out. I like to read books. How do I do it? Well, here's the next tip. I make sacrifices and I set aside some of my favorite hobbies and I just kind of put them to bed for a little bit. You know what? I just beat Witcher 3. I think I'll take a break from video games and finish Wheel of Time, or I'm not really feeling Magic the Gathering right now, so I'll just keep that in the corner and read my book. Pushing aside some of your favorite hobbies is going to make more room for other hobbies, and you're not going to feel overwhelmed and exhausted trying to do it all, fit it all in your schedule. Isn't there like a term that says distance makes the heart grow fonder? Well, when you put distance between you and your other hobbies, you're going to come back to those hobbies with more love and appreciation for them. When I go read a book and I've set aside video games, for a month, 2 months, man, coming back to a video game is going to be exciting. So it's all about balance and not trying to do it all. This is the last tip of the video. I hope I still have your attention. That is, join a book club. I know. What does that have to do with time management? How is that going to help me make more time for reading? Well, it keeps you accountable. When you surround yourself with friends who love reading, you're going to be thinking about those friends. You're going to be having discussions with those friends. And you're going to be thinking about books and thinking about the book that you want to read and share with them. Or if you've all agreed to read the same book, there's going to be a level of accountability. Then for me, I don't really do book clubs. At least I don't do big book clubs because I feel book clubs force you to read books that you don't want to necessarily read or you find interesting. So find a relative, an uncle, an aunt, a parent, a sibling, a friend, and talk about books with them. And maybe come to an agreement about a single book that you both want to read. That way the book club is intimate and there's a little more in-depth conversation that can be had. Maybe accountability isn't the right word. It's a bit aggressive. Maybe it's excitement, encouragement, hearing someone else talk about the book that you guys are reading together. That would encourage me and excite me to read it more and to discuss it more with them. For the past 4 years or so, I've had a book club with my uncle, and he and I've been reading various fantasy books. Name of the Wind, Mistborn, and the Witcher series, and Wheel of Time. And it's been so encouraging and inspiring to read books alongside him. We talk for hours on the phone about Wheel of Time and just the little intricate details, and we theorize about certain things, or hey, what did this mean to you, or how did you take this? And he'll point out things that I didn't even pick up on. It's exciting, and I think a little book club, whether it be with one person, 5 people, 10 people, can be very beneficial to anyone's journey in reading. Those are my various tips and tricks on how to make more time for reading. Oh yeah, I have a P.O. box now. I've had a few comments and a few emails about folks wanting to send me coffee, because my channel has been all about books and coffee, and it's really sweet and kind. And so yeah, I got a P.O. box, so if you wanted to send me coffee or your favorite book or a letter or whatever, my P.O. box is in the description. And yeah, it's heartwarming to know that people want to share coffee and their favorite book with me. Caleb from Work Life Coffee emailed me wanting to send me a bag of his night shift whole bean coffee. It's a dark roast, Honduras. And yeah, he was like, hey, if you like the coffee, give me a shout out. And yeah, that's what I'm drinking right now. I gotta say, this is a really good cup. Thank you, Caleb. I really appreciate it. If you like dark roast coffee, I highly recommend the Night Shift blend at Work Life Coffee. I'll have his website in my description, and you can order it there. This isn't a sponsored video. This is just, hey, supporting small businesses. And I think that's very important, because I'm a small business owner. I am a wedding filmmaker. I've been filming weddings for over 10 years, and I understand what it's like to run a small business and that kind of lifestyle. When I get a cup of coffee, I like to get it from a local coffee house or a small business, because there is a level of passion and care and love that goes into the world of coffee. I'm not a Starbucks guy. I'm not a Dutch Bros guy. I don't think that's coffee. I think coffee is the folks who are passionate about it and the people who care about it. There are a handful of coffee roasters I would recommend. I'd recommend Work Life Coffee, Hex, Morgan. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now. But there are a lot more. So if you love coffee and you want to support small businesses, I'd start there for sure. Let me know how you manage your time with reading and how you go about your daily routine and how you fit reading in your daily life. Thank you for watching, and until next time.